Now we start quantifying things. So I'll move from this zones tab to the conditions tab, and I will click on new condition, and let's start, for example, quantifying walls. So I create a new condition. I'll name it as wall. Basically a condition refers to an item to be quantified, and here I want to quantify the brickwork or the walls, and we need also to specify what's the type of quantification, how this item is quantified. Generally there are three categories of quantification. Forget about typical group and attachment. Mainly you will be using either count, area, or linear. So a wall is quantified linearly, so I'll choose linear, and you could give it a height. So say we have a wall of 3 meters, that's 3000 millimeters. Let's leave the thickness as is for this example, and we give it a color. How do we I think we've already chosen blue for the zonings, so let's choose a different color, yellow. Let this be transparent and click OK. The unit, make sure it's meters, click OK, and there you go. And before quantifying, you want to make sure that the scale is calibrated. This drawing is set to a scale of 1 to 100. Now you could find this scale from any engineering drawing. It should be given, but to make sure that we have selected the right scale, choose this dimension function and make sure that it measures exactly as shown in the drawing. So let's see. Yeah, so it's measuring almost the same, so that's 3.5. all right, so that confirms that we are using the right scale and the scale is calibrated with the software. So we'll start quantifying now the walls. I will highlight on the wall condition and start drawing the wall. Make sure you've chosen takeoff. So we'll start quantifying the wall by just clicking and dragging between corners. Click and drag. Okay. Click and drag. All right. Click and drag. And there you go. I have highlighted all my walls. You see that some of them are not very accurate. You could click and anytime adjust your walls. So that quantifies all my walls, and as you see it says that I have 64 meters of walls. Now going back to this condition, the wall is quantified as linear meters. Alright, so that quantified all the walls in this drawing, which is not right. When we talk about walls, we talk about brickwork, so we need to know the area of the walls, and that will tell us the amount of work to be done for brickwork. So we need to change this. We double click here and we change this quantity from length to surface area. That's what we need, surface area. And by the way, we could also, using the walls, we could also find the amount of work to be done for paintings. So we could quantify also the surface, because we are painting on both sides of the wall, so that's another quantity. Alright, so click OK, and there you go. You have quantity 1, that's the brickwork, and quantity 2 is for painting. But you might have a different sort of painting for the external and internal, so this is not recommended, so we'll remove this. We'll just use it for the brickwork quantification. Now we will click on the takeoff tab, and you will find out that the wall has been quantified. First of all, make sure you right click and you select group by zone. Alright, that will break down the quantities as per the zones that we created. So you'll see that we have quantities of wall to be done for area 1, quantities of wall to be done at area 2, and quantities of wall to be done for area 3. And that's actually very beneficial, because these are the quantities that we need, and these are the numbers that we need to plug in our Vico software quantity takeoff for planning purposes. Of course, we will repeat this for all the other items to be quantified. We repeat this for floorings, we repeat it for columns, windows, all other things. But for each item, we will use a different tactic for quantifying it. So for windows, for example, let's say windows. Windows are quantified using the attachment category, and I'll tell you now what the attachment category does. The attachment function actually quantifies an item and at the same time deducts a quantity from another item. So when we want to quantify the windows, we want to quantify it, and at the same time we want to deduct the area of the window from the wall. So that's why we need to put the height of that window. So let's say our window is 1 meter height, and you choose the shape. So we have here typical shapes of windows. So let's select window type 2, for example, and let's say typically our windows are 400 millimeters. Click and change the color. Let's choose a pink color, for example. Click OK, and yeah, there you go. So that quantifies the windows. And whenever you are done, you will notice that the wall area has decreased from 192 meters squared to 190. And you could zoom in to confirm that. You will find out that the area of wall was deducted by this window. Of course, you could do the same thing with doors as well. So door is another type of attachment. You would call this attachment, and that's a door. And let's give it another color, say something unique, orange. Alright, so the door, we have the shapes of doors and we could do them. Okay, but let's do something else. Let's try now a different type. For example, floorings. Floorings are done through the area function. Yeah, so floorings, flooring tiles. Okay, and we'll choose an orange color. Okay, so area and floorings are quantified using meter squared unit. Click OK, and yeah, quantifying areas are straightforward. So we just need to select the corners. Okay. So that's one room done. For this example, I just quantify 2 rooms. Okay, and there you go. That's our flooring tiles depicted on orange, and you could go to your takeoff and you will see that it has been quantified for each zone. So for area 1 we have 15 meters squared, for area 2 we have 17 meters squared. Finally, the very final step, after you've done with all your quantities, copy all this to a spreadsheet. So we'll copy this and paste it in an Excel spreadsheet. In the next video I will demonstrate how these quantities are put back into Vico software. So I'll copy this now and paste it in an Excel sheet. Thank you.